Welcome to episode number 30, you guys. This is our first one of the year of 2025. And, of course, we have our co-host, Coach Nik. And I'm the main host, Coach YoYo. We also have Colton in the background as well. Today's special guest, he's been one of my most favorite client to coach. Why? We did a lot of mental work, a lot of emotional work, and we've lost over how many pounds?
59.
We've lost 59 pounds, and girls are asking him out on dates. You know, all these things are changing in his life, and I love that. So shout out to my man, Scotty Johnson. Scott Johnson?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I call him Scotty because I like to call him Scotty. But how you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm living life. I'm happy.
Yeah. 59 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
a fifth grader.
I know.
Yeah.
Literally.
Girls, we need to, in our UFL community, we need to create a dating app.
Yeah,
And it's just Scotty on
just
there.
for me. Just for
We'll
me.
put all the
Scotty.
women in there, and then it's just Scotty.
There's only one profile you can swipe on.
Yeah.
And you can only swipe one way. So.
Yeah. So we all want to know your journey, but before we get to your journey, let's talk about, let's do some introductions of who you are, where you come from, and why you wanted to even think about starting this journey. And how did you find me or us, by the way?
Gotcha. I just went on Google and typed nutritionist/fitness coach near me, and
Perfect.
popped up.
That was
Finished
it. That
lifestyle.
was
Yeah.
that easy.
Well, it was about 5 different companies, and you were probably number 3
Yeah.
on the list. And I
Did you-
contacted a bunch.
You did.
Yeah.
And did anyone got back to you? Or?
Yeah, I had 3 or 4 different people get back to me, and I went and had like consultations with them. I had consultation with you,
Of course.
and decided to go with you.
Wow. I think I remember you went in and did a consultation with me, and it was earlier. I don't remember exactly what
Like
month.
September. Or
Yeah,
something.
but you didn't start. I forgot about him, actually.
Yeah, it was about 3 months afterwards when I started because I didn't have the funds at the moment. So
Yeah.
I just saved up, and then I started in November 30th.
Yeah,
was
because
it?
when you texted me, and I'm like, who is this person? And then I looked through my text. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Scotty. And I'm like, I don't really remember the consultation. Because here's the thing. When we have a consultation, and we go through it, we'll go through our emotions, and then if we don't start right away, like, we forget about you because we got other things that we need to worry
We
about.
got other
right?
consults, we got clients.
We don't force people to start. Like, you don't
Yeah, if
feel
you don't have the funds, we're
Yeah.
not gonna tell you to pay, because then if you find a way to pay, how are you gonna buy the groceries?
Yeah.
So did
exactly.
so when you had the other consultation with other coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was the difference between, and why did you choose us?
Mm-hmm.
The main thing was you guys are in every single detail of the process. I went to other different places, and they're like, oh, yeah, you can come here basically as a gym, not necessarily as a coach, but a little bit of the coaching aspects. But you guys were like, okay, we're going to coach you. We're going to give you a meal plan. We're going to give you need 8 hours of sleep. You need water intake. You need all this stuff, and you're with it all the way.
It's detailed. We're very detailed, and
Yeah.
we've heard that multiple times.
Yeah.
And in fact, we've talked about it on our last podcast, and I want to talk about it again. But there's people work with us, and they go to a different company or finding a different coach, and they're like, this is not it.
And then
Yeah.
they come
You
back.
know?
Which we kind of encourage. You don't have to stay with us. If you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But we definitely try to set the bar to make it so if you do want to find someone else, or if you go a different route, if it's a different goal that maybe we're not equipped to help with, you know what to look for. And then if you don't find that, you're probably, we'd like to have you come back, but
And
just trying to
the
change
crazy,
the
the
industry.
cool thing about our company is that we set the bar higher every year. Every year we're doing something different. Every year, the processes that we've been through, there's a lot of things have changed since you first started. Like, for example, the app that we have now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have the app and all that stuff. So, okay. So you found us, you decided to go with us. And did you tell your family? Did your family encourage it, or, because I know you were
Yes.
close with them.
So I had told my family that I was looking at consultations and going to a bunch of different places, and my parents from the get-go were always for it. Like, go Scott, do what you can. And yeah, I always had that support, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the beginning of your journey before you started with me. So let's have some introductions of who you are, because you don't really play sports growing up,
No,
right?
no.
So let's talk about that, and then going into
Okay, so June 15th, 2001.
What time were you born?
Is that your birthday?
Yeah, that's my birthday.
When's your birthday?
June 15th.
June 15th is your birthday?
Yeah.
Hey.
2001.
Yeah, I'm a youngin'.
Wow.
I'm a youngin'.
No, okay, here's the crazy. So when I did his meal plans, right, and I'm looking at the date, I'm like 2001, and I'm like 2001. Man, I feel old. Yeah, it's crazy because you're 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, I had a coworker give me a bunch of crap because we were talking about the first Star Wars movie we saw in the theaters, and he's younger, and he was like, "Oh, mine was, the new one,
Episode 7.
yeah, episode 7." I was like, "Dude, I saw the Phantom Menace in 1999." Yeah. And he was like, "Damn."
Well, the first one came out in 77.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we weren't alive. We're not that old, Scotty.
Yeah.
We're not that old, Scotty. Calm down.
okay, yeah. Origin story. I grew up in Twin Falls, Idaho. I didn't really play any sports. I had a surgery when I was young that I wasn't able to run. I was 8 years old and I had surgery on my foot, and I was in a cast or cam walker, which is a boot, for about 9 months. All of my third grade, I was in a cam walker or boot.
Wow.
And so I wasn't able to run, wasn't able to play with all my friends, and I always ate, as little kids do. And that was the beginning. That's what I say is the beginning, but there's always a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
I was always heavy set through middle school and through high school. The only physical thing I ever did was a dance team or choir band, if you count that as physical at all.
I mean, it can be.
Yeah, it can be. And I had gone on a cruise with my family last year, so 2023. 2023 in July. We went, I think, to Alaska or something. And my mom's a very big picture person. She always bought the 100 picture package. And we're on the last day of the cruise. We're going through the pictures, seeing which ones we're going to keep, which ones we're going to take home. And I'm like, man, I do not like myself in any of these pictures. And I don't say that to my family. I just like, okay, yeah, we can get that one. You get that one. And we get home. I'm like, I need to do something. I've been feeling like crap about myself for 15 years. I got to change. And that's when I decided to look up nutritionists / fitness coaches. And here we are.
I remember when he first started, you were very timid. You don't really say much. You just come in and, you come in and do your workout and you get out, right? I mean, you don't really text me throughout the week, which is fine. Like, I don't ask you to do that, but I remember the first time you went on to our Zoom call.
Yeah, I remember that too.
You want to talk about that?
Sure, yeah. So I think I had done a workout with you that week. So it was Thursday afternoon that I had my workout with you. And then that couple days later, Saturday, was when we had the bi-weekly, every 2 weeks call. And we get on there and...
Because you didn't get on at the beginning. You kind of like...
It was a little
while,
for you
right?
Yeah. It was January or February when I got on, and I just started with you November 30th. So it's at least a month, maybe a month and a half before I hopped on. And I hop on, and Coach was like, okay, welcome, everybody. Okay, Scott, give us 5 affirmations right now. I'm like, oh, crap, okay. And I think I got through like 2, and then I just broke down crying because... I had never talked to myself so positively before. And it was just my beliefs of looking at myself and not thinking that I'm worthwhile. And then here I am saying that I am loved. Just 2 things clashing together, and it just...
Yeah.
Mindset change that right there.
That's a huge mindset change. And we don't typically see that in social media. Because I don't really post that stuff, right? But I know for a fact that we have 99% of all of our clients that go through our program has a huge mental and emotional change first that we see. And the moment you kind of got over that, positive affirmations, and I ask you to send me every day.
Yeah.
Every day he needed to send me 5 affirmations, just text it to me, and he was diligent every day. I see him every day. And every day when I'm reading it, it changes, right? And every day it's earlier in the day. So I'm like, a month, 2 months later, you were almost a completely different person. You're losing weight. You feel better about yourself. You're going to the gym. You love the gym. You remember you were going to Planet Fitness, and then I remember you said something along the line of like you weren't really feel comfortable lifting in front of a mirror.
Yes, I was not comfortable lifting in front of a mirror. I always had to be in the little nook or just around the corner and do my workouts.
And now?
Now? Oh, I have to be in front of a mirror.
Personally, he's got to see him.
Yeah, I gotta see the progress. I gotta see what I'm working. I gotta see my form. I gotta see what I'm doing. You know.
Yeah. And you're no longer in Planet Fitness.
No, I'm at EOS now.
Graduated.
Yeah. Woo.
Congratulations.
Graduated to
Proud
out
of
of
you.
and by the way, there's nothing wrong with Planet Fitness. I love Planet
Nothing
Fitness.
wrong.
I just do not agree with the whole pizza and
And
the,
donut. Yeah. What
Yeah.
is it like? Donut Wednesday.
do they
and
do
Pizza
that
Friday?
when you went?
Not as of recently, but what I did see, I just barely switched to EOS. So last year, December, a month ago, I switched to EOS, and November and October they had a bunch of Tootsie Rolls in a bowl. Like, okay, you can take your Tootsie Roll for
That's your
workout.
intro workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We
In
need
case you
more.
get lightheaded and you got to eat a Tootsie Roll.
We need more. We need more blood sugars in our sugar. Yeah. We could. Yeah. That is. It's such a weird thing. I remember when I went to a Planet, and I was out of town. Right. It was so I had to find something, and I remember I walked in, and there was like 3 boxes of pizza, and I'm like, this does not make any sense whatsoever. What is the deal behind this? I don't understand. And we do this for a living. Like, what in the world? But also it's almost equivalent to a person that would not eat all day. Maybe one meal at lunch. We've all done this before. Lunchtime, and then you get off work at 5. What do? You go to the gym, right? And then you take all these pre-workout, which is 0 calories essentially, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting all this energy, but you're really just getting caffeine, right? And then you burn, let's say, 500 calories during that hour or 2 hour workout that you do, and then you walk out. On your way out, you stop at the supplement shop and get a big tub of like protein shakes, thinking that you need protein, which you do, but the protein is like 7 to 1,000 calories. So you burn 500 just to consume 1,000 calories right when you walk out of the gym. So what does that mean, Nick?
Gym math.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like girl math, but
Yeah, there you go.
No, so people do that, and don't get me wrong, I did it. I remember I was that guy. I walked in like, yeah, I'm gonna get this protein shake, and then I go work out, and I walk out and I do another protein shake. And I did that. Oh my gosh, the amount of fat, the amount of
see, I never got into that because I never liked the shakes when they'd make them.
oh dude,
I always thought they tasted like
But-
crap. So
but-
like I would never eat them. But I could not. Even now, I can't work out if I don't have at least 2 meals in me. I've always had to. Even like when I was a kid, I remember waking up. I have to eat breakfast within like 10 minutes of waking up, or my entire days is gone.
So what was your mentality in terms of food before you started with me?
Eat anything and everything that I want.
Literally?
Yeah, basically, if I wanted it, I'll eat it. If I want to go to the gas station, I'll buy some chocolate, buy some beef
Unlimited.
jerky. Yeah, I don't
Unlimited.
care. You know.
And you grew up in a family of, are they active? Were they
Uh,
heavier?
they're heavier. I do have siblings that are fit and healthy, so
Good.
it is not because of my environment that I am the way I am, because I have siblings that are healthy and they chose to live that style. But yes, so I have some family members that are heavy set.
Yeah. And I think I remember your mom or your dad were talking about starting something or doing something with their health.
Yeah, it was my mother. She had been, we were somewhere with family, and I had one of my sisters talk to me. It was like, oh yeah, thinking about starting their own health journey. And then my mom's like, yeah, I've been thinking about going to the gym also like twice a week or something. I'm like, yes.
That's good.
Slowly getting
Better
there.
than her saying, I think I'm going to start
Oh,
Ozempic.
don't go there.
Yes. I think my family.
Mama Johnson, you're moving to Utah. We're going to help you.
I think my mom is on the same mindset on Ozempic that we are. That's like, it's probably not the best to.
It's really
Go on
not.
that.
We actually had a conversation with it this morning. We have now, I think, total of 3 to 5, if I can say safely, 5 clients that are in our program that got off of that GLP-1s medications to actually work with us with our mindset, metabolism, all of that, blood work especially. And what we found is there was so many issues that no one really understands behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
One, gaining weight. They're going to gain weight, right? Because you're used to eating 500 calories a day.
Mm-hmm.
So
my God.
there's so many, there's so many things, and I'm glad your mom are in that.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So when you start, right? So you started with me, and then we did the breakthrough training.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that day?
I do. Yeah, because that medicine ball was a pain in the butt. Did not like that. That was not my friend.
No, but what did you feel going into it and while doing that and kind of saying that affirmations out loud?
Well, my thoughts were, let's get this over with, first of all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get done with this workout, you know. And then I was just trying to figure out what I was going to say. Because you had prepped me. He was like, okay, we're going to say 5 affirmations and then do the ball slams. And then I get there and I'm like, okay, what am I going to say? And I have to think. And I think my last affirmation was, finally, I fight for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the big, powerful moment, you know?
Yeah, and then I asked you to repeat that 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video on my Instagram on one of the first 2 pins on my Instagram. Watch that, because that was a very, very powerful. I had a lot of people reached out to me and reshare it. I mean, there was a lot of shares, a lot of messages, and people felt that moment. And you inspired thousands of people, bro.
Good to hear.
You inspired thousands. You didn't think that was going to happen, huh?
No. I didn't expect much of it, to be honest.
Yeah. And this
It
is
was
why
it was more for me, to be honest, than for
100%.
Well, that's why we do it, you know. But I'm sure this is what you're going to say. We record, we at least try to capture those moments, not because we want that like viral clip. Like, this has nothing to do with social media.
Mm-hmm.
But we record it and we want to post it because more often than not do we get people who they see your transformation, they hear you've lost 59 pounds on, but they don't see the behind the scenes. They don't see you struggling to just say 5 positive things about yourself. They don't see you struggling to just want to get the workout over with, to not want to watch yourself working out in a mirror with all the things that go on within that 12 months, that 6 months, you know, that has gone by. They just see it before and after and like, oh, okay. So it's that easy? Well, yeah, Scott did it. He lost 59 pounds.
If only.
In like a year-ish, I can do that. But they don't see that we push you to the absolute limit of we have to break these old habits. So we record it, and it's also for you to go back and see, to remember where you came from. Because we also forget. We don't remember the struggles we went through. We don't remember how we used to feel and how now you do your affirmations. I'm sure the freaking microphone. We do the you tightened it and then it hit me again. You do the affirmations now. No, it's fine. I got it. You do the affirmations now, and I'm sure it's now like just a normal daily habit. You can say 5 positive things about yourself right now, and you got it.
Yeah.
Right?
I got my list right next to my door before I leave.
Do you still do that every day?
I don't do it every day. I should get back on it, but I still occasionally, like before actually I came here, after the call, after the biweekly call, I don't know what I was doing, but then I just remembered that I was doing affirmations because I said, like, I love myself, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I'm doing affirmations again. Cool. And then I head over here and
Yeah.
And
you,
it's
you
just,
got to stick to it, though.
I can just do it, which is good, and I don't have any troubles thinking good of myself, which is even better.
It's amazing.
And then I remember in the middle of our journey, you had told me you bought a body size mirror.
Yeah, a
You
full size
wanna talk
mirror.
about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I went to Walmart. I do my shopping at Walmart, and I was like, man, I think I should get a mirror. You know, I go to the mirror section, and they got these 10-inch mirrors. Like, no, I gotta go big or go home. So I spent like $90 on this full size mirror that I can put up, and I have my affirmations right next to it. So I got my mirror, my affirmations in my door, and I go to my mirror, look at myself, check out my muscles, the ones I can see, and I sometimes do my affirmations and then I leave. So yeah, it was a big milestone when I bought that mirror, because the only other mirror I had that I ever used was to do my hair
in the bathroom.
Yeah, in the bathroom. That's it, and then nothing else. I didn't want to look at myself. And
is this something that you, like a weight issue you had your whole life, or did it start kind of when you got older? Were you always like a bigger kid and then you know, bigger teenager, bigger adult and stuff? Or is there like a point in time, you know, because I know sometimes it's like a lot of people at their heaviest when they were a kid, teenager, adult, like kind of what was that whole process like? And then I know you mentioned that your family is really close. So where do you think the negative self-talk came from? Because sometimes it's from your environment, but it sounds like, you know, your family gets, I mean, I don't know, but, you know, it sounds like they get along, you know, decently, you know, well. So kind of.
My family gets along really well.
Yeah, those things.
It all started.
What was the date?
That's deep.
So it was actually, in third grade, I had my surgery where I was in the cast. And I still remember the specific day, and I still remember this kid's name. I won't say his name out loud No, I won't do it. But we were at recess. This was probably 4th, maybe 5th grade. And he was in a time, he was hurting. You know, I could tell that he was crying, but I was by myself too. I had gone to these, the batting cages that we had on the schoolyard. And he was going around them. And I was just passing by, and he just says, "You fatty." And I'm like, oh. And I still remember, that was the day that I thought, oh, yeah, I'm fat. And then
Wait, he called you?
Yeah, he called
Just
me
because
fat. And
you're
like,
walking
oh.
by.
Yeah, fourth or fifth grade.
Okay.
And, I mean, he was coming from a place of loneliness, and he wanted friends too, and that's just how he lashed out.
Dang.
But that was like, oh, okay. And that was the moment I thought I was fat. And then I was bullied all through middle school, basically, and that just reaffirmed my self-doubt, my beliefs in that sense. So I think that was the main cause of my self-criticizing and stuff like that. But I've always been heavy set throughout, you know, middle school, high school. I mean, I've lost 59 pounds. I'm still heavy set for my age and height, but we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's deep.
So that's where it comes from. So when you go, like, if you take a step back and think about where you came from and the self-talk and all that, or even go back and watch the video of you doing the medicine ball slams, you know, in the posing room, what do you think? Like, what do you see when you look at that?
I see the gain from where I was to where I am now. There's this book out there, I forgot who the author is, but it's called The Gap and the Gain, where we always measure, not we always, but most people measure themselves from the gap of where they landed to where they want to be, instead of the gain of where they were to where they landed.
Yep.
And so I was able to measure, like, oh, I've come all this way. My goal is to be, you know, ripped, shredded, have a six-pack, you know, 2% body fat, you know, but...
2%? 2%?
Do. Yeah. But...
We need you alive, Scotty.
Yeah. Not 2%, but it was really... I was really grateful, especially this past season. I went on a cruise recently with my family.
Yeah.
We got the 100 photos like we always do. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was like critiquing myself, and then we pull up the pictures from the year and a half ago. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, look at that difference. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I need to measure the gain, not the gap, of where I want to be. So
that's huge, man. And just so everyone know, I think that people think they come to us, they expect it to be such a lean body mass within, I don't know, within 6 months or less. You've been with me for over a year, right? That's what they see on social media. And when we do post on our social media of your transformation, we're very, very detailed. I'm like, hey, just so you know, Scotty started back in 2023. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a 3-month thing or 6 month thing. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about is you don't have to be shredded to be happy, right? Is that a bonus? Sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, we're so miserable when we're prepping for a show and we're shredded.
Oh my God,
we are one of the most miserable people, honestly, because we're hungry, we're hangry,
we're tired. All you want to do is just lay in bed.
Yeah,
that's it. You don't want to do anything.
Yeah, and so I knew at that moment. I'm like, I remember being shredded, and then I asked myself in the mirror, I'm like, am I happy? Yep. And I said, no, I'm not. Nowhere near. Where I'm happiest is like after a show, and I'm looking at 4 weeks after a show. And and I'm gaining a little bit of fat, a little bit of water. I'm still lean, but I have more food. That is when I feel the best, right? Yep. But even those stages are temporary. We're not there. We're not even close to being shredded, right? If anything, we think of ourselves what we call it fluffy. We're a little fluffy right now, but we know that's temporary. So what I'm saying, guys, so if you decide to start your journey in 2025, the biggest thing that you have to understand is stop thinking about, I need to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I need to lose 50 pounds by my wedding in June, It's not about losing, because you're only thinking of a short-term gain, right? Because when you get there, even if you lose 30 pounds by eating 500 calories, being on GLP-1s or whatever, crash dieting, when you get to that point, and then what? Are you done with your journey?
But not just that, but I mean, if you're going to base whether or not, like, okay, once I lose the 50 pounds, then I'm going to be happy. Yeah. If that's your why behind wanting to do this, I think you're not ready to start. No. I think if anything, you might need to go talk to someone. You dissociate being happy with how much weight you lose or how you look, and we've all been there. I mean, we just assumed, oh yeah, once I'm shredded and all, then that's when I'm going to be happy. Then that's when all my problems are going to go away. But I mean, all of our friends that do the bodybuilding, when they're that shredded and all that, they tend to have more problems, and they're some of like the least happiest people.
And you've never once gave me a number. You've never once gave me a body fat number, ever. No. Or inches, right? And it's all about your well-being and who you are and loving who you are before and after, and continue on loving yourself, right? And we have clients right now, male or female. Oh yeah, I weigh 185, 5'6", or whatever. And I'm like, okay, what's your goal? They can't tell me anything about their goal specifically, but their goal weight. Oh, I want to be 175. Bro, that's 10 pounds.
I need to get back to 145 because I remember in high school being that way, and that's when I felt the best. It's like, well, one,
you're not in high school.
20 years ago. You're not in high school. Right. But two, when people come in and say, I just want to feel good again, or I want to feel like that, it's like, well, did you really feel good back then? Because you don't really have anything to compare feeling good to. You don't know what that is. You don't know what it is to truly be healthy. So sure, you might not be exactly where you want to be, but you feel good right now, don't you, Scotty?
Yeah, I feel a whole lot better than I was a year and a half ago.
Exactly. So you're not focused on the number. You're not focused on necessarily like the superficial and the look and all that, as much as you just want to feel okay. You just want to feel good, not just good about yourself, but healthy, and you're there.
Inside out.
Yeah. This is more valuable than the number on the scale, than how shredded you are, how, having the six-pack.
Yeah. And I still have my muffin top, my spare tire. Still got my man boobs, but I'm a whole lot happier. Like you can see my transformation photos where there is a big difference. I don't have the fat lines on my back anywhere. My body is just rolling over on itself. And I'm still what other people might classify as fat still. Yeah. And I do have fat. I do have fat, but I'm happy.
Yeah, but these people don't know your journey. They don't know that you've lost 59, pretty much 60 pounds, right? They don't know. And then the mental side, too, because like he said earlier, when you first started, you're very reserved. Man, a few words, you'd come in, do your thing, and leave. Now, I mean, you come in, I see you come in like, what, an hour early so you can get on the treadmill sometimes? You come in at least a little bit early.
45 minutes early, yeah.
Put your headphones on, you're doing your cardio, you got a big smile on your face, you're talking to everyone. The way you carry yourself as an individual is 100% different.
And my family has noticed that, too.
Yeah, what have they said throughout this journey of you, from when you started to now, they see you've lost 59 pounds and that you as an individual has changed?
Yeah, so I visit my family every month and a half or 2 months, just because they're 3 hours away. They're close enough where I can just go visit them. And every time I visit, they're like, "Hey Scott, you're looking good." And every time I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't really see it because I'm with myself all the time. It's hard to see." And every single time I just go and they say something. And I had a Thanksgiving, so I got you as a coach right after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's the 24th or 25th of November, and then I hired you the 30th of November. And I had a family, sort of a family reunion. My little sister, had gotten back from her mission, and we had her homecoming. That's what it was. And I had an aunt that I was talking to, and she mentioned to my mom, was like, "Yo, Scott is super different. Scott, his mentality is he's just a whole lot happier. And I had family friends that say, like, Scott, you're different. You're happier than you were. You're more confident. That was the biggest thing, was my confidence. So
I love that.
That's huge.
And getting
man.
those kinds of, positive affirmations from other people and that recognition, to me at least, feels better than when they say, "Oh, you look good." Because I'm like, okay, thanks. But the same thing, I'm like, but I don't think I do. Like, I think I still look the same. But when they say you've changed, like you're happier, you're positive, like you just seem so much happier, confidence and all that, then it's like, to me, okay, now it must be real. Because if other people are seeing that, then to me that's real, because it's not a physical thing, it's more of like a behavioral.
So when you started a meal plan with me, what did you think of it at first? Was it a lot?
I'm going to gain weight on this thing. That's what I thought.
That's everyone's reaction. So what did you think when you got the food? Like, bro, I'm going to get fat. Like, what? I'm supposed to be losing weight and tell me I need to eat more?
Yeah, we were probably around 2,300 calories when you started me. I'm like, man, I'm going to gain. And we got up to 3,000 calories. I thought, for the life of me, I was going to gain 10 pounds. No,
But you were losing weight.
I
10
lost
pounds.
weight.
So
Were
you went from
questioning your
20.
decision?
So you went from 2,300 calories to 3,000, and you thought it was a lot of food.
Yeah, it
You
was hard to
think-
get my meals in.
And you think you were going to get fat.
Yeah,
But then what ended up happening?
I lost like 20 pounds. And then
Before we started cut.
yeah.
And when we started cut, we lost even more.
Yeah.
And more.
Yep.
Is your pant size different now?
Yeah, well, so we did at the year mark, we did our measurements again.
yeah,
I
yeah.
lost 10 inches in my waist. And
10 inches. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 inches. Do you know how many? I don't even know how much 10 inches really is on it. Like,
I'm just kidding.
calm
Yeah.
down.
So as a Christmas gift, my mom gave me this little prepaid Visa card, and it said, "Okay, get a new suit." I wear a suit every week. I go to church, and it's just super baggy, and I don't want to spend a couple $100s to get a new suit.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
yeah.
And my mom's like, "Get yourself a new suit. You need something that fits you." So,
Yeah, so it doesn't look like you're wearing your dad's suit.
well, no, he's a little bit shorter than me, so the pants wouldn't really fit.
So so you started a meal plan. You thought it was a lot, and then you ended up losing weight, and then we started our cut. Do you remember what was the most difficult part of that cut?
Most difficult part, probably doing an hour of cardio every day. To be honest, that was the hardest one to start. After I got into the rhythm of it, like we were a month in, and I got into the rhythm of it. Like, okay, I can do this.
It's not that bad though.
No, it's not. It's not bad at all. The cardio isn't bad. It was just how much time it was consuming. It was like, okay, I gotta spend 2 hours out of my day just to work out, and then I have to spend another hour to cook and meal prep and all this.
Did
stuff.
you go 30 minutes to 1 hour?
I
Or like 40 minutes to an hour? Do you remember?
started at 45 minutes when I
started our cut.
started. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then cut. we got up
Walking
to 60.
walking incline?
Yeah,
treadmill?
walking incline, nine incline. I think we started probably like 7 or 8 incline at 3 miles per hour, and then we got up to 9 incline, 3.5 miles an hour. For
And
60
he would
minutes.
go, bro. He would go.
I got long legs.
Yeah, I think the first week of, like, we just adjusted mine. The first week is, you're just like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. Especially so for me, not only do I have to hit 40 minutes inclined cardio, I also have to get 12,000 steps. So I'll do 8 incline, 40 minutes at about 3.5. And then once that 40 minutes is over, I flatten it. And then I have to walk until my fitness pal says, you got it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
I should do that. That's a good idea.
You didn't do that? What?
No, I went home, I had a meal because that was my fasted cardio. I went home, got ready, had a meal, and then I just walked around the block for my 12,000.
So 12,000 is a little over 5 miles. So instead of thinking, that's what I think to myself, because sometimes, like, I don't have an Apple Watch, like I don't have my phone on me, or I put my phone on the treadmill to like watch TV, you know, whatever.
Well,
And so it doesn't count my steps. And so I looked up online, like, of course it's an average, and I've got longer legs and whatever else, but about little over 5 miles is 12,000.
now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, taller people,
because you take
they
longer,
have
wider
to
steps.
to walk further.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't think about that.
Guys on the treadmill just like
Yeah.
taking these
It's good
little
thing,
baby
it's a good
steps.
thing we don't have. The good thing we don't have anybody like 7 foot tall or
Yeah,
not even
so-
6'5".
So it's a little over 5 miles, and 1.5 miles is usually about 30 minutes. So if you're gonna walk on the treadmill, it's about I don't know, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
My pedometer that I got via your link was I do 3 miles. So I think 3 miles an hour, and I do an hour of cardio. It's 3 miles, you know? I had about 5,000 to 6,000 steps. So I need to do about 6,000, sorry, not 6,000, 6 miles for a total of.
So you're taking some wide steps too.
I'm a long-legged boy.
Long legs for sure. And I actually didn't think about that.
I never thought about
that. Just
yeah,
now.
that's the, well, you don't think
shorty,
about it,
but
yeah,
I think
because
about
I'm
that.
tall.
No wonder.
Because I was like, it's like 5 miles, and you're like, nah, dude. I'm like, yeah.
Wait, hold on. No wonder I get more steps than my wife all the time because
You're taking
I
more
would
steps.
Take, I would take 10 steps and she takes 5.
Yeah.
She goes, "Why are you walking so fast?" I'm like, "I am."
Johan walks like Mr. Krabs, dude. Like,
Dude, I walk fast, bro. And the reason why I think because my wife, she always talk about like, why are you walking so fast? We would be like in the mall or something, right? It's because my brain is embedded. I always walk 3 miles an hour, whether it's incline or flat. So that's my step. So I know the rhythm. So when I do it, my son says this all the time. "Dad, can you pick me up? Like, you're walking too fast." I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry, buddy." We're not in a hurry. It's just how I walk, you know. But no, that's cool.
I try to match Nanette's walking speed, and my bro, we're gonna get from one end of the mall to the other in like exactly
in 6 business days.
I know. I'm looking at like the little like security people and the golf carts going around. But can you just drive me to where I need to go? Like this is. I'm like, how do you walk like this? But she's tiny.
Yeah, she's small. So we did the meal plan, and then we start cutting. And I remember when we switched to macros. So you went from 277 to
218.
218. Whoa. That was I remember you were sitting in my office at one time and it was like 218. Did we just drop 2 pounds the week before? You just kept dropping like crazy. But at some point your body stopped responding. And I was like, all right, let's increase some food real quick. And I think you're at that part now where we're increasing food.
Yes, and I'm still trying to figure out macros.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Because when we switch over to macros, we do what we keep. I mean, we're going to obviously educate you and teach you, right? We always expect that you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a struggle because it is. It's not easy. People think, oh, so I just log what I eat and then that's it. No, it's not that easy. Yeah, Colton, raise your hand.
Yeah.
we were just talking about that in the kitchen.
Yeah, we were just. We're just. So we're let's go back to starting really quick, where people start their journey. Today's what? January 5th? 4th?
June, bro. I wish it was June.
January 4th. Yep. Today's January 4th, right? So what most people do on the 4th day, they go gung-ho. They meal prepping. They do an hour of cardio. They go to the gym every day. They're trying to get all these things done. I promise you can probably do that maybe the first 2 to 3 weeks. You'll be lucky if you make it over a month, right? What I want you to focus on, if you're listening to this and you're starting your journey, I want you to focus on one step at a time. Focus on getting rid of the unhealthy sugars, okay? Regular Coke to Diet Coke, getting more fibers, more veggies, less snacking. Get rid of the chips and random shit that you have in your house. Do the little things. Don't throw food away, right? Because I hate throwing food away. You can
next time
it.
you go to the grocery store,
yeah.
Instead of getting the 3 bags of chips, get 1.
Yes.
Start there, kind of deal. It doesn't have to be this extreme because you can't keep that up. You can't.
Because I've been to my friend's house one day and they're not into like fitness at all. They would have selections of like all the chips. I'm being dead serious. All the chips. And then you open the pantry, they would have this organizations of all the candies, Snickers, Skittles, and I'm like,
in their plastic containers with the label label on it, and they have the little spoon you can go and scoop it out like you're at the grocery
like
store.
Winco, just
I'm being dead serious. Being dead serious, and
it's too much.
Yeah, and so when people start their journey, what do? They throw everything out. They do all this meal prepping. They cold turkey it.
Yeah.
And then they quit after 3 months. I mean, after 3 weeks or 3 months, let's just say. I mean, so what's the point of that, right? So start slowly, get rid of the unwanted sugars first, and then start buying better things a little bit here and there. And our ratio that we want you to have, all of our clients, 80% whole foods with 20% processed foods. right? And that doesn't mean that you can't have sugars. That doesn't mean that you can't have donuts. Doesn't mean that you can't have the ho-hos or whatever. Like, you can, just do not overindulge. And the fact that you did a good job of sustaining that, you live by yourself too, though.
Yeah.
For the most part.
For the holiday season, I basically lived with my family for most of December.
Yeah.
Was that hard?
Yeah, it was super hard.
He went missing, dude. Like, I forgot about him.
We're about to put your face on a milk carton.
Missing person.
The reason why I say I forgot about him, because what I normally go, because we have so many clients, if you check in on Sundays, that's what I'm focusing on, right? And sometimes I'll go through it and I'm like, wait a minute, Colton hasn't checked in for like 2 weeks.
But that's not a surprise.
I know, but I'm just saying. So, and then I look back, right? And I'm like, and I message the individual. I'm like, hey, you missed the last, I said you the same thing. I was like, hey, you missed the last 4 check-ins and you haven't done your daily check-ins. Like, what's going on? And then you message me.
Yeah. And it was.
Did you miss some of those check-ins because you were not doing what you were supposed to do? Because I know that I do that sometimes, where I'll be like, it's pointless to check in because I already know. Like,
for the cruise, we didn't buy the internet package, and so we couldn't really do a whole lot of that stuff. I didn't try, to be honest. I didn't think it would work. For when I was during Christmas, I just didn't care about the check-in, to be honest. So
most of my clients,
most
of my clients were the same way. I mean, like, first of all, I took that week off anyway, and then I sent a message say, hey, if you want to check in on Sunday, you can. You don't have to; it's not mandatory, but you'll make sure you check in the following week. And most people do it the following week, and some people, there's only a handful of people that actually did it on the week
I still had
Christmas.
all my people check in the Sunday before Christmas. I said, hey, I check in because then I use that to see.
Yeah, it's data.
Yeah, it's data, so I could use that to see. Okay, you've been consistent, even if we're cutting. We've been clean. Everything looks good. Then we can go a little bit more relaxed on Christmas Day. But I had some people check in that Sunday and they're like, yeah, dude, I've been eating all the Christmas cookies and goodies and all that, and I'm like, well, yeah, so Christmas is in 3 days and you've been doing that. So I'm like, hey, you can, I still want you to eat on Christmas, but we've really got to dial it back. So I use that as a way to just gauge what people are going to be able to do.
Did you ever try to lose weight on your own before you hired a coach?
All the time. I tried. I actually did hire a coach for 6 weeks, which is,
was that their program?
Their program was 6 weeks, and it was actually a family friend in Idaho, and I was actually living in Nashville at the time, and she's like, okay, and she's like, you can't have too many vegetables. You can't have you can't have more than this amount of vegetables. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know why, to be honest.
Did they explain why you can't have more vegetables?
Not really. And they're like, you can't have carrots, you can't have corn. And like,
oh, wow.
Do they know what vegetables are?
Water?
I understand.
Asparagus is water.
I understand the corn and the carrots, because that's what I was taught to with my previous company. Yeah. But now I looked at it, I'm like, no.
I mean, I tell my clients, like, if you want to eat, carrots, that's fine. Just don't do all 5 ounces of vegetables as just carrot, simply because you're going to get sick. It can hurt your stomach.
And it's a little bit of high sugar content, right?
Yeah,
so
not bad.
Not too bad.
But
I would rather do that than eat a pizza, right?
Yeah, but people don't understand, people don't like eating vegetables for whatever reason. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but from going through all the oncology stuff, understanding exactly what vegetables do for the body, and just in terms of not just keeping healthy cells healthy, but preventing cancer cells from being able to metastasize and spread. Now I'm like, bro, I'm looking for every vegetable I can find.
Jess and I had our cheat meal, and it wasn't really a cheat meal because I just got their steak double protein salad.
Where'd you go?
Costa Vida.
Oh, okay.
And it was so good. I mean, it obviously has black beans, rice, and I didn't eat the tortilla. It was too much carbs at that point. And it's just a little bit of the what do you call it? The
dressing.
The dressing. So it wasn't like I didn't put the whole. I used to do that. I'll put the whole thing like.
So for you people who say, "Oh, well, I'm going to eat salads. I'm going to get really healthy." Okay, are you eating a salad or are you eating a bowl of ranch dressing
with some
decorated
veggies?
With some lettuce?
Yeah. So how did you do that 6 weeks then? What did you learn from that?
So I lost about 10 pounds, and, there's a big difference between Nashville and Idaho. There's about 2,000 miles there, and I didn't have really a support system. I'm living by myself. I don't have much friends besides classmates, because I was going to school in Nashville, and it worked a little bit.
What did you eat?
But it wasn't consistent at all.
Obviously not corn and carrots.
Yeah, not corn or carrots. I tried... Mainly protein, kind of keto-ish, to be honest.
Really?
So, I mean, protein, not really a whole lot of carbs, and yeah, I don't remember, to be honest.
Did they give you like a meal plan to follow, or was it just like a food list recommendation?
It was a food list recommendation, and then
Oh, so it's like a list. It's
Yeah.
almost kind of like a, here's what protein you should do,
yeah.
what carbs. But
Kinda
like a
amounts at all.
dietitian.
Yeah.
But I did also try other times to lose weight by myself.
Yeah.
In high school, I was part of a show choir where you sing and dance at the same time, and I was a lifter, so I did all the lifts with the girls. Mama didn't raise no fool, and I was lifting all the women. And there was a
Scotty.
I used to go to I would go to the gym to
my
practice
God.
certain muscle
Lifts.
groups for specific lifts. Like I did the dirty dancing lift, which
Yeah,
is the
buddy.
highlight of my dancing career.
There's a-
So I mean, I would do overhead, shoulder press all the time, and just try to max out every single time. But other than that, I would do what everyone else would do: don't eat, binge, don't eat, binge. So
Oh, it's like an endless cycle.
Yeah,
Everybody
back
does
and
that,
forth
dude.
yo-yo
like
stuff.
a lot of. I don't do that as much anymore. In fact, I don't do that at all. I would have. Sometimes I'll find myself. I'll fall off a little bit, and then I correct myself the next day. And what I mean by that is I just go back to my plan. Like it wasn't like did more cardio. I mean, we talked about it this morning. It's the setbacks. Like if you when you have setbacks during the holidays, especially, don't correct your behavior the next day. Just get back on plan. That's it.
When I was going to say something on the call, but I didn't get a chance to. So for anyone listening, let's say New Year's Day or New Year's Eve that night, you ate like absolute garbage and you fell off your plan. And then the next day, your mindset is, I need to go do 2 hours of cardio. I'm going to go to the gym for 3 hours. I'm not going to have any carbs today. And I'm going to do this and do that because of what I had yesterday. Digestion starts the second the food touches your tongue. So what you're doing the next day isn't going to affect what you did the day prior. It's not going to change anything. If you went overboard and had a bunch of cookies and all that, and you're trying to burn it off, you should have done that yesterday. It's too late now. You've already digested it. Your body's already done what it needs to do. You're not going to burn it off. Anything you're burning off that day when you're working out is what you've already consumed that day, not the day prior. You might lose a little bit of like bloating and inflammation and all that, but
Water weight.
yeah, you're not losing the 10 cookies you ate.
So that's when I said
Body's
on the
already done what it
call,
needs
and I
to
said,
do.
if you're gonna enjoy the food, enjoy the food.
Mm-hmm.
Just enjoy the food. It's okay, right? But if you had the same thing yesterday and the day before and the day before that, then okay, now obviously we have an issue. Then a coach like myself or Nick would have that conversation with you. I'm like, okay, what is really going on? Because I know you don't feel good when you eat those things, and you know
Beating yourself
that.
up? Are you just bored?
Yeah, and a lot of that is mental and emotional. Remember when you had those emotional moment, or like.
Now, there's some stuff going. You don't
remember?
obviously you don't have to get personal with it, but there was some stuff going on in your life that
You went MIA
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks on me, remember?
This last year?
Yeah.
Or
I think it was something to do with you're not getting work. Like, you remember that?
yeah, it was
something happened, and
Yeah,
Can you elaborate on that?
So I'm new to the workforce as of 2023. Yeah, 2023. I was new to workforce. I'm an audio engineer, and the biggest thing about that industry is reputation. So if you don't have a reputation, who's going to hire you? Like, you have to get an unpaid internship, and then 6 months later, they may pay you something, just to be there, have you around. And I was just like, okay, the people that had hired me had stopped production, that we had finished our production. And so there was like, okay, there's nothing else to do. So
bye.
thanks, bye, And so like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Because they're my main moneymaker. And
So what did you do?
I just try to grasp anything and everything I could. Luckily I had 6 months of income saved up, and then right now I've actually burnt through most of it because I had a hard time getting a job, and it's just spotty here and there. But yeah, it was a super stressful time. I was emotionally tense, I was a little lonely because I'm still single. All the ladies out there.
Yeah, but all these ladies are hitting you up, Scotty.
Yeah.
Don't you have options?
True. What can I say? Swan skirts all day.
Well,
Scotty.
what would Mama say right now if she heard you say that?
She says, "Okay, now ask one of them on a date." That's what she would say.
So have you?
I actually have a plan of asking someone out on a date. Haven't done it, but
Why not?
So what's stopping you right now?
my own self, because I still have that little person in the back of my mind is like, oh,
Do you have her phone number?
No,
I was say if you do, you're pulling out your phone right now and you're gonna call her
on this podcast right now.
So
put her on speaker.
It was actually, I met her when this production that just barely finished in Christmas. I was helping with the live. I was an RF tech for Savior of the World.
Yeah.
And one of the actors, we had graduated the same year and got talking, and but I got her Facebook details, but that's it.
Oh, this is too funny.
Have you slid into her DMs, Scotty?
No.
Have you
I
added
did not
her on
think it
Facebook?
Yes, I did not think it would have been professional for me to reach out while we're working together, basically. So I was like,
that's
okay,
like a perfect time.
Were
Were
you her?
No,
hold on.
Were you her boss though?
No, not whatsoever.
Still no. Colton says no.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
Y'all been out of the game too long.
This is what I'm gonna say. This I don't know how much I'm gonna trust Colton because Colton's been single for 30-something years of his life. So don't believe anything. Just do you, bro.
Listen, now I know what doesn't work.
That is true.
I'm really good at what does not work.
Yeah.
It's too funny, man.
I myself, I'm a gentleman, so I'm still reserved.
Yeah.
Though I am a lot more confident than I was past.
But you've at least added her on Facebook.
Yes, I have.
Are you afraid of failure?
Somewhat.
Or
Yeah,
failure or rejection.
Both.
Yeah.
My last relationship was my first relationship. And so I had
How long was that?
I had courted her, I guess you might say, for like 5 months.
Where
Scotty,
are
are we at a Victorian like mask only party? Like what is this?
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know my vocabulary.
Hello, dearest. I doth taketh you.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! It's like I'm
I would
watching.
like to take you to the ball.
It's like I'm watching Bridgerton right now.
I actually met her while we were both on the mission. So I went to a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Houston, Texas, and then COVID was happening, but that's a whole other issue. We had met, and then we had gone home because you don't ask people on dates when you're a missionary. It's just
Why?
like,
Can you all like share a rack of ribs and some cornbread or something?
I guess you can.
Rack
if you
of
want,
ribs
but-
and some corn.
You're in Texas, bro. Barbecue food.
I don't know how you're married.
I don't know how I'm married. This isn't about
This isn't about me.
But yeah, we had met, and then like a year later, I had gotten back from Nashville, and I saw her on Facebook. Oh, I might reach out. I reached out, and then we went on several dates, and then I asked her if we want to be in a relationship. She said yeah, and then
Is that how you asked her?
no.
Do you want to be in a relationship?
You want to be my turtle?
What did I say?
Turtle?
I said I had
does that
feelings
even
for her, and I asked her what her feelings were, because I don't want it to be like, okay, kiss me, It's just
I have feelings for you. What are your feelings?
somewhat, yeah. And then
You are a gentleman, Scotty.
Oh, that's so.
we finally started dating, and then I wanted to kiss her as anyone else would, This
wanted to
is
what?
this is kiss her.
Oh my
This
god.
is my very
not what I
first
heard.
kiss.
Okay.
This is her very first kiss.
Oh.
And
This is while you were
Wow.
with our journey, during their journey, or was it before?
right before.
Right before. Okay.
Because she broke up with me a week after I started with you.
Oh wow.
Oh my
And so
What's her name?
no, I'm not gonna.
That's a good trap.
Yeah, look
But-
at you now.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at you now, boy.
And then a week later, she broke up with me. I'm like, oh. So
Can-
I
can we-
finally
can we
got
ask
to like,
why?
oh, I
But
made it.
she
And
did
then-
that for your benefit. You realize that? She was
Yes.
like, he needs
Yes.
the motivation in the gym. You know what I'm saying? You ever see those memes? They're like, can somebody break my heart so that I can get some gains?
There
You know, like,
there you go.
that's
Well, I mean, your heart's
Everything
been broken. Where are the gains? It's been how long?
what are you talking about?
everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah. And so I thought everything was going well.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue, we break up. And so
I think we need to court other people.
Yeah. There you go. And so that was just over a year ago that happened. And still I'm afraid to be like, I don't want that to happen again, because I spent 5 months plus trying to do what a gentleman does, all for nothing.
Was it all for nothing? It was your first relationship. So, I mean, what did you learn from it? You're in your early 20s, right?
Yeah. I'm a youngin'.
We're in our 30s around that old,
wait till you're
right? We're not,
31 like me and you're still doing it.
Yeah, then at this point it's just desperation.
Yeah, he's just.
But I mean, it was your first relationship. It's not. A lot of people might have that mindset of, first one, this is it. Like, I'm gonna get married. It's gonna be her. It never is. Very rarely is it. So try to, the same way like you're going back and looking at the positives and right. And what was like the book you referenced?
The Gap and the Gain.
Right. So what did you gain out of it?
Sometimes it's hard to say. I lost a whole lot of money, that's for sure. I watched Lord of the Rings for the first time. I guess that's a gain.
Well, there you go. So if you didn't really gain anything out of it, then so what's holding you back? I mean, you said you did what a gentleman should be doing, and then obviously she didn't want to continue the relationship, so she ended it.
Or I'd rather her end it than lead me on. Things like, I don't want him as a husband in life. Just have someone nearby just to call Pookie.
Just call Pookie.
With the way you felt at the time when she broke up with you,
how did that affect you starting?
Yeah, because we never really deep dive on that.
Was that motivation for you to make some changes so you could move on, or did it kind of?
Yeah, I started for the wrong reasons.
Oh.
I started because I thought if I got healthier, it'd make me more lovable. That'd be the main thing. More.
You know what? Everybody's listening to this right now. I know a lot of you felt the exact same way.
Or they're doing it for like a revenge thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they broke my heart. Like what Colton was saying. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to show them what they're missing out on.
Yeah.
No, you do that, you're going to end up like Colton.
So if she would have done that, if she would have done the same thing later, maybe perhaps after you finish the journey or later within our journey, you wouldn't react the same?
No, I wouldn't react the same, but in my mind, I was thinking of the future. I want to be able to go on adventures, not get tired, go hike with my significant other, go to a third world country just to hike Machu Picchu, who knows. But then I also want to play with my kids when I have kids.
Yep.
I want to be able to run in the backyard, play tag with them, dangle them by their feet and swing them, just
shake them for their lunch.
You want to
exactly.
Yeah, you want to be mobile for sure.
Yeah, I had a cousin who was super energetic, and I couldn't keep up with him. And I'm like, okay, I gotta sit down. He's like, oh, come on, Scott, I want to play with you. I don't ever want to feel that way again.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play with my kids, and so it changed from I want to be more lovable to I want to spend quality time with my kids. I want to be there for my significant other. I want to do things
take
with the
care of
family.
them.
Yeah.
So how can you take care of them if you're not taking care of yourself?
And also, would you say if you were selecting an individual moving forward, would you want them to be as active as you are? Like, because, different perspective, right? Because we're all in this world now.
As active as I am, it doesn't necessarily need to be, because everyone's on their own journey.
Right.
It's not going to be the same exact journey as me. If someone has health complications where they can't be as active, if they have like arthritis and it just hurts just to get out of bed, I want them to be improving. I just want them to be making sure that they're doing what they can to be on earth as long as possible. So I believe in an afterlife.
Yeah.
I want to spend as much quality time here on earth.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's a fair point, because, I think unfortunately what you were saying, do you want them to be as active as you are? Because we're very active. We're in the gym. I play soccer twice a week and all that. My wife she's active. She was a professional ballroom dancer, and then she stopped for a little bit. We had our daughter, and now she's training for a triathlon right now. But I'm definitely still more active than her. But I don't expect her, nor do I want her to be as active as me, because that might not be what she wants to do. But I still, I hope that she would want to make healthier choices and do these things, and she is taking care of herself, but she's doing it her own way. too often do we see, you know, an individual come in or, you know, a couple come in, and what ends up happening is, you know, the husband wants the wife to do exactly what he's doing, but that's not what she wants to do. Or she wants the husband to start going to the gym, but he doesn't want to do that. And then it starts to cause issues because they think, well, okay, I'm not living up to your expectations. I'm not looking the way you want me to. It turns into a confidence thing. It just, it gets too complicated and too messy at that point. So don't put that expectation on your spouse. Encourage healthy habit changes, healthy behaviors, work together as a team, but you cannot force this stuff.
I think leading by
partner.
example.
Yeah.
Leading by example. And, you know, your families now, or your mom, for example, like a lot of people that you know in your life are wanting to change because it's very infectious.
Yeah.
It really is. You know what I mean? Let's dig deep a little bit. Before we go into the advice part of things, this is one of my favorite questions to ask. You know which one I'm going to ask. If you can go back to that person, the young Scotty between 4th and 5th grade, when
That kid called you fatty.
that moment, right, and that feeling that you had when you were a kid, being bullied and people calling you fatty, like, what would you say to that young man if you can go back in time?
I would try to make him understand that people love him not based on what he looks, but how he acts, what his personality, his actions, and that such. Because, I mean, it was part of my life just thinking that, like, oh, if I bought people cookies, maybe they'd like me better. You know, if I bought people all these stuff, then, oh, maybe they might like me. It's like, no, they're not going to like you because you're skinny.
Yeah.
They're going to like
Or
you
you're buying them
because
things.
you're a true friend. You're there in the time of need.
Yeah. Do you treat them well? Are you respectful? Are you kind?
So if you literally, if you go back in time right now, if you close your eyes, right, if you go back in time and seeing that little boy and you walk up to him, what would you actually say?
I'm not a good putting into words kind of person.
It's okay. Try as much as you can, because I know what I would say, right, to my younger self.
Yeah.
I would basically say if I knew it was me, if I'm younger me and I knew it was older me talking to me, just simple 3 words: you are loved. It's just it.
Wow.
Do you see yourself as someone that you wish younger you would have had in their life to look up to?
Yes.
Do you think younger you would have looked up to you now?
I sure hope so. Though I don't know if
Your dad. We don't know your dad, but it sounds like he's still is a very positive, individual in your life and all that, right?
Yeah.
But
him and mom go on a package deal. You know, whenever I say that,
exactly,
it's
right.
just-
So you had a great support system where we know with a lot of people, unfortunately, in their younger life, they didn't have that. But like I know, thinking back to how I was as a kid and all that, like my dad was there, right, and so he was the person I always looked up to. But I also wish that I had someone like me now to guide me and at least be like that role model. Because my dad was there, but he also had to work 2 to 3 jobs. Because my mom didn't want to work or whatever her excuse was. And so I'm trying to be the person that I wish I would have had in my life to tell me like, hey, it's okay to feel this way. It's, you don't need to believe these thoughts and feelings. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Don't listen to their words. Because again, hurt people. And so I'm trying to just be the person I wish younger me would have had. To guide him through all the hell we had to go through.
Yeah. If I tell you, if I would, what I would say to my younger self, man, I'll be sitting here crying for an hour, to be honest with you, because I'm such a different person today.
Yeah.
The amount of, confidence that I have, in not only just myself, but also within my families and friends. Like I know the right people. I know my own circle. I know my own value. I can die tomorrow and I'm happy. Because I've achieved as much as I want to achieve in changing people's lives. But I remember when I was young, at one point, I was like, man, if I die tomorrow, I would not be happy. Because I have done nothing. All I did was follow everybody's footstep. My parents telling me what to do. Society's telling me what to do. Growing up in an Asian culture, right? But when I broke that off, and I was the first entrepreneur in my family, dude, different ball game.
Yep.
And the fact that my family or even my parents didn't really support that I was doing this, believe it or not, that was hard for me too. If I could go, there's so many point in my life I could go back to, right? I'm talking 6 years ago. If I go back to 6 years ago, when my boss told me that every personal trainer are broke to my face because I wanted to leave the company to start this. Yeah. Right. So there's so many point in my life where you can go back, but also at the same time, it's who you are today. It's what makes you for who you are today. So you don't really want to change anything. You know?
Yeah. And I did not in any way, sense, or form have a rough life, to be honest.
No.
I've always had loving parents. My dad worked his butt off to build a business so our family could live comfortably. I never really wanted for things. And so I didn't go through the, like, your Asian culture of, stuff the feelings. Doesn't matter, you're a man, be a man.
Yep.
I always had that support system. So just to keep the record
good.
straight.
No, which is great, and that's what we want, and that's what we're trying to do. Like, I'm trying to make sure my daughter doesn't go through the things I had to go through or feel the things I had to feel, right? That shame or anything like that. I mean, not that I had an extremely rough childhood, but there's some things that I'm like, yeah, I never wanted to experience that. And I'm sure it's the same thing with him and Ozil.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, same thing for you. I mean, you don't necessarily, when you have kids, I'm sure it's not going to be like, okay, I'm going to make sure you all don't have the childhood I had, but maybe going through what you went through, you can do positive affirmations with your kids, have them look in the mirror and do these things, do a lot of these things to help them. So if one day they're at recess and they're walking past the batting cages and someone calls them fatty, they're going to be like, yeah, you okay, dude? And then they're going to try to talk to that person and become friends with them.
Did you know I do affirmation with my son?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, I do that with Mila. My wife does it a lot with her in the mirror. She's 8.5 months old. She doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
But we're trying to, we want to instill that now just to help her. Because that's something that we never got as kids.
To him, it's more like a game. I would say, okay, let's say your affirmations. Okay, he goes, okay, Dad, and then I'll go, I am, and he'll say strong, right? So it's something, and he'll say something. I'm like, I am funny or silly or whatever. Like I love that, and to him, it's like a game. But I don't think he understands that until he gets older, and then that's why I'm saying that, right?
Yeah. And I firmly believe with my whole heart, the most important thing in life, if you could put value on things anything you want, is family.
Oh yeah.
And in my religion, family is top shelf, number one thing, because if Satan can destroy that family unit, he can destroy anything. Because family is, you're talking with your kids, your kids, supporting them, and if I got that to fall back on, I don't need anything else in life.
100%. The last question that we want to ask, being a 23-year-old, being bullied, right, and going through the journey, the fact that you've lost 59 pounds, what is your advice for the young kids or young man out there that are going through very similar things as you do?
You can do it. Be consistent. You don't have to be 100% consistent, just majority, 75, 80% consistent. And just start. Don't care about whatever anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody else at the gym. I don't care about anybody else at the gym. They don't care about you. You're in your own little realm. If you have a hard time going to the gym, wear a ball cap, put your head down, do your workout if you want. But eventually start lifting your head up, look in the mirror while you exercise.
Say your affirmations.
Say your affirmations. Be consistent. Be consistent.
And love yourself.
Yeah. Love
no
yourself.
matter what.
I got one more thing for you, Scotty. Say 5 affirmations about yourself right now.
Gotta be quality ones.
It's got to be good.
I am a genius. What can I say?
It's very humble. I like it.
Yes, I am humble. I'm just kidding. I want to do that. Okay. I'm a genius. I am emotionally intelligent.
Beautiful.
I am musically talented, very musically talented. I love my family.
Try to make it as personable about you as you can.
About me.
One more. This better be good then.
Yeah, I know. I gotta.
Yeah, no pressure, Scotty.
I'm just building tension. That's what it is.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
You are a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman. I can't end on that though.
No, okay.
No, I can't.
That's a great one.
That's a great one.
Sure, yeah, I'm a gentleman.
That's a great one.
you go.
And he's single, ladies.
And I'm single. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our very, very first podcast of 2025. I know there's going to be a lot more coming your way. Thank you guys for sharing our reels, our videos, our YouTubes, and any social media platforms that we post our podcasts on.
Well, and for just coming up and telling us how much they're enjoying the
Yeah,
podcast. I
you
mean,
know
we're
what?
not trying to monetize off this. We're not.
No.
We're just doing it to share client
I
stories.
don't-
But the amount of people we get coming up, we've had consultations from people who came in because they heard a podcast.
heard a podcast.
Or they saw
Literally.
podcast clips. So thanks.
We've had many consultations. I'm like, hey, I heard your podcast. I want to work with you. I'm like, what? Who are you? I have no idea. But they know so-and-so of a so-and-so, right? So it's like a really distant friendship from my previous clients or something like that, whatever the case. It's really cool. You guys, thank you for sharing all of our stuff. New episodes coming soon. Thank you, Scotty,
My
for
pleasure.
being on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Our work will continue, by the way.
Yes.
We're not done. We're not done.
Never
We're-
finishes.
Unfinished.
unfinished. We're growing. We're growing now. We are increasing calories, and he's still with me. We're working on the next goal.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.